So this season seems to have a lot of trash, and I've watched all of it. So here are the top 5 must-watch anime of fall 2017, excluding sequels, spin-offs, and also all of the scores on this list range from like a 6 to an 8. Number 5, Juni Tyson. Juni Tyson makes it onto the list just for having one of the most hilarious lines of any anime this year. Seriously, I don't think I've laughed harder at any seasonal anime than when our main character says, "Infinite fire of non-reload," and gets stabbed immediately afterwards. Though it lacks the finesse of direction that other adaptations of Nisio Scene series have, it has genuine potential and is worth the ride, though the bland direction would put me off it if it weren't for the original author of the series. 4. The Children of the Whales. The Children of the Whales is, in one word, captivating, and in several more words, one of the most intriguing anime of late. While there are elements to its presentation that I find to be underwhelming, I do find its unique aesthetic and concept work well enough together to carry me through the whole way with ease. Though I would by no means call it an amazing show, I would highly recommend it if you have an insatiable hunger for character-oriented exploration series, much like I do. 3. Love is Like a Cocktail. In the vein of other emotionally charged short series about married working life, such as I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, Love is Like a Cocktail gives us just enough to love and makes it utterly charming, and with ease takes its place as one of the best anime this season. It sticks around for just that perfect amount of time to just get you really liking it, and I feel that it depicts a nearly ideal life. Highly recommended, especially if you like I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying. Now, 1 and 2 are very close, so much so that I would highly recommend watching both of them. They are both at a level of quality that I have not seen since the winter season of this year, but before that I have an honorable mention. Urahara. Encapsulating the atmosphere of the backstreets of Harajuku isn't an easy feat. It's an area that is otherworldly and ethereal, and the anime in all of its best might attempts to capture this atmosphere with its absurd, stylized visuals reminiscent of the aesthetic of Masaaki Yuasa's Ping Pong the Animation, tied into a system of colorization reminiscent of the newer seasons of Precure or Yumeiro Patissiere. This is interesting to watch this season, but it lacks the requisite pacing and cinematography to actually make it a good experience to view. Though, if you're interested in the landscape of Urahara, then this series will likely hold your attention through its runtime. In spite of it being a lackluster show, I would still give it a general recommendation, though I would also say that there are documentaries about Urahara that are more interesting than the show. Now on to number 2. Just Because. Now, first of all, I need to tell you something, is that Just Because is basically just touch. It's just Adachi Mitsuru's touch, and I love that. It's like, after 30 years, we finally have a response to this Adachi Mitsuru masterpiece, which is one of my personal favorites of all time. And while Just Because doesn't have the sparse backgrounds or that same charisma of that 80s vaporwavy aesthetic, it delivers on the appealing characters and interesting interactions that those series had. And I hope that more people link it to Touch because I want more people to watch Touch, and it's really good. But it has a lot of its own merits that I want you as a viewer to go and realize on your own. Highly recommended, especially if you like good romance anime. Number 1. Girls' Last Tour. An empty, beautiful world of warped metal and ice, the humming of an engine, and the droning of a metallic structure, reminiscent of the ship described in Splendor and Misery. This world on its own would make for a compelling story, but as soon as you add 2 cute girls into the mix, the entire context is changed up. No longer is this just a harsh world. It's a harsh world which contains warmth, which contains love, which contains potential. These are these marshmallowy girls exploring it. The dissonance is, for some reason, comforting. and observing the differences between these girls allows for a wonderful experience. If you're at all interested in seeing a world that seems so dark and horrible being explored by those who are unworried about it, then I could not give you a higher recommendation than this series.